Dear partners, guest speakers, dear participants, I'm Maria Vasilevska, a project manager from the Center for Social Innovations, Blink 4221. And today I will have the honor to moderate this event that we as organization are organizing as part of the Global Entrepreneurship Week North Macedonia. This event is titled Engaging Creative Industries to Boost Social Innovations. And we are happy that we are putting the social innovations and digital technologies in the agenda of this year Global Entrepreneurship Week. This topic is really important for us as organization since we are working from 2011 on this topic, and in particular how social innovations can contribute towards addressing social issues and how we can improve the society through different reusing of the resources that we as a society have. At the beginning of the event, I would like to invite Ms. Simona Ciuminska, the National Coordinator of the Global Entrepreneurship Week, to greet us and to share a few words about this global initiative that is happening this week. Simona, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Maria. Dear partners of the Global Entrepreneurship Week in Macedonia, Center for Social Innovations Blink Center, and dear panelists, Dr. Prodormus Monastridis, Nino Karas, Tadej Strok, and Zorica Velkovska. It is my great pleasure to address you today with an opening speech as the National Coordinator of the Global Entrepreneurship Week. And I have to admit it is a great honor of ours that you decided to join in this initiative together with your organization. The Global Entrepreneurship Week is an initiative that is happening at this very same time in 180 countries, where over 20,000 partners are organizing about 40,000 events dedicated to entrepreneurship, reaching an audience of about 10 million people. This initiative is managed by the Global Entrepreneurship Network that is also present in more than 200 countries, operating various platforms and programs related to entrepreneurship. This year, we are dedicating the Global Entrepreneurship Network to topics such as entrepreneurial education, ecosystems collaboration, which is something that is tackled by your topic as well, then about policy making and about inclusion topics. It is also my great pleasure to announce that this initiative has been very active in Macedonia for the past years, especially since 2018, when Startup Macedonia took over the initiative, starting with only one event, rising to 14 events in 2019 and 45 last year. This year, we have over 45 events as well, organized by 60 partners. And with that, we are actually making a harmonization of the whole ecosystem, since the partners that are participating this year come from the private sector, civic sector as yours, academia, and also the government, so the public sector. It is in our keen interest to promote such kind of initiatives, because we believe that these initiatives are not only helpful for the ecosystem harmonization and uniting, but also for positioning our Macedonian ecosystem on the map with global ecosystems. So I'm really looking forward to listen what the panelists have to say today on this topic that you are covering, and to also invite you to follow the rest of our agenda, which is available online, and to officially announce the opening of your event. Thank you very much, and I wish you a successful one.
Thank you, Simona. Thank you for all your team and all the organizational team that has put a lot of effort into this week. We are happy that the topic social innovations is put on the agenda for this week, and we are hoping that we will contribute with this event towards even increasing the awareness of this topic, since as we are recognizing that there are many social innovations around, but sometimes they are not recognized as such. And we, together with our partners on a national and international level, are working towards recognizing the social innovations, motivating them, and promoting them on a wider between the wider audience. As a first speaker today, we have Mr. Tadej Strok. Tadej is our partner. We are working together on many different projects on many different levels, and we are so happy to have him today. Tadej is a product manager and entrepreneur with over 13 years of experience in building and launching digital products, and he's focused on strategic product planning and user experience optimization. He is specialized in development of applications, content creation tools, gamification strategies, augmented reality experiences, and mobile display advertising. In this moment, he is working as a chief product officer in Next and also he is contributing in the development of digital tools in one of the CSOs from Slovenia, Donna. Tadej, the floor is yours. Thank you at the beginning for being together with us today, and we are happy to have you and follow your presentation.
Hi all, thank you for the introduction. Yeah, I'm just gonna share my screen. As I understand, we have 10 minutes, right? Yeah. So I'm just gonna go ahead and share my screen. And today I'm gonna talk about our NGO called Danes je nov dan, which means today is a new day. And we like to think ourselves as not a traditional NGO, but more of something new, something that's more digitally oriented. And I'm going to showcase a couple of products that we've been working on, campaigns, projects, and you'll see like what's our approach towards social innovation, towards social good. So mostly we started off as in 2012 as during the uprising that was happening in Slovenia. We organized at that point a lot of me and a couple of friends that we've been working out in advertising agencies or startups. We decided to focus on something that's more meaningful with our skills. So we're trying to bring the logic and the concepts and the approaches, the marketing approaches of the advertising agencies or startups towards a more socially aware and socially good causes. So we, yeah, as I said, we started from like the activist movement, but gradually we transitioned into a full NGO that's focused on governmental transparency, open data, political participation, and social and environmental justice. So we do tools, campaigns, interventions, stuff like that. And yeah, I'm just gonna go through a couple of them and you'll be able to see what I mean. So this is a latest one that we just launched a couple of weeks ago, actually. It's called Cool Initiatives, and it's basically a Kickstarter for local small NGOs. So basically we gave them a platform that allows them to collect money easily, because usually the small NGOs don't have the infrastructure to get donations from their audiences. So for instance, this NGO, this is actually a radio that's trying to rebuild their space, like they're trying to install a new radio studio. And we basically put them on this platform, and it's easy to donate 5 or 10 euros through this platform. And this is the testing of, this is a pilot program that we have now with 3 NGOs. And if this will be successful, we will eventually open up to other NGOs as well. So we always like to work with partners, and we like to empower them, whether they're media partners or other NGOs or other organizations that work in similar fields. So usually a lot of our projects are partner-based, and we are sort of the technological partner. Similar to that is this tool that we developed, which is basically a promise tracker for the government. So this allows you can go here and see all the promises that the government made before the election in their manifestos, and you can see how they are progressing and if they are actually done, or maybe they're stalled or whatever happened. You can search for them based on the categories, and then you can see, for instance, detailed analysis of how this promise is enacted or not enacted, or what's going on. You can see it through a timeline. This is one way that we're trying to hold the government accountable for their words. This is something that we like to do a lot of times. This is also a study that we launched recently. It's called Transparency Leaderboard, and this basically analyzed all the municipalities in Slovenia and ranked them based on how good they are in terms of how transparent they are to their audiences. So whether their homepage is visible enough and friendly enough, or how do they post their transcripts of their sessions? Do they post their voting records? Do they post PDFs, or do they post actually machine readable stuff? So we did this analysis, and it was pretty successful, pretty impactful, because we put the municipalities one against another, basically. So they're like, now they're competing with each other. Oh, we got this amount of points and less than the neighboring municipalities. So they are surely going to try to increase this next year when we do it again. So these are a couple of different characteristics that we assess the governments, the municipalities by, and then they can collect points, and then people can see detailed analysis of their specific municipality, how open it is, how transparent it is, how what should they do better, stuff like that. So this was pretty successful in terms of the media reach. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about Parliamentary, which is basically our flagship product that we started back in 2016. We also got some funding from Google Digital News Initiative for this. And this is basically a parliamentary monitoring tool, which allows you to search for transcripts, through transcripts, voting records of the MPs in the parliament. For instance, you can see every law that got accepted, like you can see the summaries, you can see the voting records. Okay, this one is not yet finalized, but you can see every MP. You can look at the statistics for every MP based on the voting records and the analysis of the transcripts. You can see their attendance. You can see like how many questions they made, how many answers they got, how many, whether they are attending the sessions or not, how are they voting. For instance, here you can see every law that gets voted on. You can search for them by who was for and who was against, and based on the MPs or based on the parties. There are various analyses, and they're all presented in through this infographic ways. And this is a tool that's trying to help media and the journalists to present this to the public, basically. So it's empowering media and the journalists so they can easily copy these cards and they can embed them in their websites. So this tool is actually, it's open source. Everything we do is open source, by the way, because that's our approach to things. We believe in open data, open source, and this ethos that's behind it. But we also try to help. We also managed to transfer this tool into a couple of other governments. So, for instance, in Croatia, with our partner, we launched the Croatian version of this. And again, it's the same infrastructure, but different data. So you can see it for the Croatian parliament, or for Bosnian one. We also had one for Polish, but apparently it's down. But right now we are developing this tool. We are adjusting it for the municipalities also, because municipalities also vote on stuff. So now we are adjusting this tool, and we're going to bring it to every municipality in Slovenia, hopefully in time. So this is one of our biggest projects. But then we also do something that's called participatory budgeting. And this allows municipalities to allocate a certain amount of their budget, let's say 1 or 10%. No, usually it's more like 2 or 3%. And they put it up to votes. They allow people to vote. They allow people to suggest and vote on their proposals. So, and they make an agreement that they're gonna spend that 1% of the budget for the projects that are gonna be voted on and suggested by the citizens. So, for instance, here you can see this is for the Coldwell municipality. Now the voting has stopped. There are 3 periods, and the voting has stopped now, and people can still. These were the suggestions that won. For instance, let's build this new playground for kids. This is something that citizens themselves suggested. They also suggested where this should be put, and other citizens agreed that this is a good idea, and they want to allocate 18,000 euros for this. And municipality agreed that they're going to build this. So this is another tool that's open sourced, and we are just adjusting it for different municipalities when they approach us. We also try to hold them accountable to various campaigns, such as, like, for instance, before the local election, we asked every candidate mayor, is he or she going to enact participatory budgeting in his or her municipality? And then we collected answers. And then after 2 years, we again did this analysis and saying, oh, this mayor is doing the participatory budgeting because he pledged he's going to do it. But for instance, this mayor has not been doing it, and people can send him an email as a reminder, or they can shame him on social media with this kind of cards that we generated. I'm just going to conclude now with maybe a bit of a more funny project, because we also like to do projects that are more lightweight and more like slow interventions. Maybe you know our current prime minister is really obsessed with Twitter. He's like kind of like Trump in that way. So we built in the similar vein as the Corona trackers that I'm sure you all have in your own countries. We built a tracker that analyzes his Twitter usage. So every day we put up automatically an analysis of how much time our prime minister spent on Twitter, because we know from the tweets that he puts out. For instance, this Sunday, he spent approximately 3 hours on Twitter. He produced 11 tweets, and he retweeted 155 tweets. And every day we post this also on Twitter, and people can follow this and see how our prime minister is doing. Again, this is basically a critique of him, obviously, but it's more of a to approach a bit of more lighthearted approach. And that's how we like to do things at Donna Snowden. Feel free to visit our website. You can look at some other projects that we did. We also have an English version. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Again, all our code is open source. If you want, you can just take it, and if you know how, you can just adjust it. Otherwise, we are open for any partnerships that you might have, any suggestions or ideas. Happy to help. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you. This was all really incredible things. I mean, there are data, institutions, human resources, and many ideas put in one place, reorganized, and developing and use that for development of social innovations. Basically, that is social innovations. That is something that we all are interested to do it, and we're all have put it into our missions and visions. So I think that is really important that we have showed that everything is here. Everything is around us, such as the data for the Twitter that the Prime Minister has used it. So just we are seeing it and analyzing the data and showing that through those data we can make changes in the society, and that is basically against social innovations. Because of that, I pointed out at the beginning that social innovations are existing, and sometimes we are not even recognizing them as such. And I would like to thank you and also highlight the importance of spreading the work on international level, since you have some kind of copied the same digital tools in different countries, and I think that is something that we all want to share and to do in the next as the next stage in our social innovations. The next speaker with us is Nino. Nino Karas is owner of Coldwell. Coldwell is actually a company that has started as an initiative of two high school students that were really interested into working international and digitally. And nowadays they have rised into a company that is internationally awarded. They are specialized in the field of artificial intelligence and deep learning with the focus of chatbots and mobile applications. Coldwell started to work back in 2011, and it started with a strong wish and a strong dedication to grow internationally. Nino, thank you for being with us today, and the floor is yours. We are happy to hear your experiences and how you include digital technologies into development of social innovations.
Thank you, Maria. Ron, thank you for the invitation to participate in the event today. Wow, to high school students, that was like a lifetime ago. But yeah, indeed, we started as two high school students, trying to build up an international company, and we are, that was a long time ago. So I got the invitation to speak more on how artificial intelligence and digital assistants can help in acting, at least as an interface for social innovations. It's in our field of expertise, actually, it's what we've been doing. So I felt the need to share the screen and, present what we're capable of building and what's really out there, because I think that most people are not realizing how far AI has come in terms of, acting as an interface for especially improving the ways the institutions work nowadays. As Maria already said, my name is Nino Karas. I'm a CEO and co-founder of Coldwell. We are a company that's focused on artificial intelligence, particularly conversational AI. We started the company actually back in 2011. We've built the company to open the office in three locations in the world. Currently, we are present in the United States, in Norway, and our development headquarters are here. Over the years, we've built products for world-known companies, got featured in some of the biggest media portals around the world. But since 2016, we actually specialize in building digital assistants. Back then, we won the award for the best chatbot in the world, basically competing against Google, Duolingo, and Slack in Silicon Valley. So we know a thing or two about conversational AI and the overall field of digital assistants. Why we did specialize in conversational AI? Because we truly believe that conversational AI represents the next step of digitalization of organizations, institutions, and businesses. If we take a look, in history and how the whole digitalization of institutions started with personal computers, IVR, web applications, mobile apps, and we have all the computing powers in our pocket today. Why conversational AI represents the next step. I will get back to this a bit later. So why conversational AI? Because I'm not sure but since 2015, actually, chat applications, so in the applications that we use for text messaging, became the most popular types of apps out there in the world by usage, surpassing all other categories of apps. And this created a huge opportunity for the vision of a virtual assistant that can serve unlimited number of people at the same time, provide a personalized experience, work 24/7, not sleeping, providing instant service and access to customers. So we were witnesses, I guess, on what was called a chatbot revolution happening over the past year. So having this vision of a virtual assistant based on AI that can serve people 24/7 and automate processes sparked the vision of chatbots in the world. So many companies and organizations over the past years turned to chatbots, trying to realize this potential presented by the chat channels, having in mind that people spend 90% of their digital time within their favorite chat application. However, we've seen a huge, I guess, churn of users, a huge unsuccess of chatbots, because by this point in time, I believe most of you have, the opportunity to speak or chat with a chatbot at one point at a time, either using an e-shop or, contacting some, institution or organization. There's a big chance you've chatted with a bot, but we also know that most of the bots don't really realize this potential. Most of the bots really, have some pre-programmed answers that you actually get when you hit the right question. So this completely fails to achieve the vision of, having an AI that speaks on a human level and serves people 24/7. So since 2015, we had the vision to actually create that platform to allow organizations and institutions create digital assistants that can serve people on a human level and in a way create an AI-powered workforce that works 24/7. So we created Coldwell AI, and Coldwell AI is our flagship product. It's basically a SaaS platform. So it's a software as a service platform that allows companies and organizations to actually automate entire departments by creating these kinds of digital assistants that can speak any language. So not just the world popular languages, but languages like Macedonian, and many other languages out there that actually converse on a human level and that can be trained as experts in any given field or industry. Shortly about the assistants, basically the assistants that we create with Coldwell AI can speak on a human level. They can be trained to speak multiple languages at the same time. So they can speak 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 languages in parallel. They can speak multiple alphabets. They can understand multiple dialects, including street talk and jargon. They can follow the context of the conversation, handle offensive language, understand multi-line questions. But shortly, in basis, this all adds up to a real conversational experience that feels like you're talking to a real human being and not some chatbot out there. To just demo shortly how a conversation with this kind of assistant feels like, let me give you like really short demo, like 1-minute demo of how a conversation with a digital assistant created by Coldwell AI in the banking space looks like. So here's a short demo.
Coldwell AI assistants provide natural conversational experience. This means that you can chat with them in the same manner you chat with your friends. Tom over here is a digital bank representative built with Coldwell AI. So you can ask Tom something as complicated as this. Dude, I really need to send $300 to my bro Jack. He needs them ASAP. As a result, Tom will ask me to verify my e-banking account by sending a verification code to my phone number. After I give him my phone number, he will send the code. And then after I provide him with the code he sent over, he will proceed with the verification, which in this case is successful. Then he says, we are sending $300 to Jack, right? Meaning that he successfully understood my complicated request, full of typos, written in jargon, and in 4 different lines. This is the power of Coldwell AI assistants. Going forward, after I confirm the transaction and the fees, he will execute the transaction and let me know of the balance left on my account. From this point on, I can continue to chat with Tom and ask something like, wow, where did all my money go? He will continue to serve me by providing the 10 latest transactions that I made, for example. And I can go on and ask something like, damn, I need to start saving. In the same non-formal way, we can continue having a conversation on a human level, and Tom will continue to serve me with everything that is in his domain of expertise. Shortly, this is Coldwell AI.
So as you saw in the demo, basically with Coldwell AI assistants, people chat on the same level they chat with their friends and family. And because of this, they act as a perfect interface for everyone, right? Like the assistants, these digital assistants can actually provide a step-by-step support in the native language of the citizens, for example. And they converse, with them in the same, as you saw, in the same way they chat with their friends and family. So there is no installation of apps, no download walls. The onboarding process is really fast and easy. And this really adds to the point that they're equally great for, as an interface speaking, they're equally great for both tech-savvy and non-technical users, and also users coming from different age groups. This eliminates a lot of, I would say, issues and challenges that we are facing with other channels like mobile apps or websites. Because when there's a non-technical users out there trying to use a mobile app, it might be challenging for him to find his way around the interface, find the right menu in order to achieve the action he wants to achieve. With our assistants, is the whole the using of the services basically is on a whole new level. Actually, it's like asking as you would go and ask in a real person in an institution about something that you want to achieve. So we've seen that users that are let's say not that tech savvy and maybe older, that would usually have problems with like mobile apps, with the digital assistants, they don't, because they are already in the chat app, they're already conversing with their friends and family. So serving the users, having a channel that's one conversation away, and all they have to do is actually ask for the action they want to complete. As for benefits in general, the digital assistants are available 24/7, which means that they can, the users and the citizens can get access to the services of the institution 24/7 without waiting and having to be served within like working hours, Monday to Friday or something like that. They can get the info they're looking for, complete the action they're requesting at any point of the day, including non-working days, weekends, and so on and so forth. The technology is capable of serving an unlimited number of customers at the same time, which actually really helps with the handling all the traffic, especially when there is some, let's say, deadline that needs to be handled by some institution. It's easy to tackle a huge amount of let's say requests by the users at the same time without having any delays in processing or anything. As for the users, it's good that they can be served 24/7, but also without waiting and unnecessary transfers. The assistants are capable of automating and providing a central point for serving the users as a single channel, so they don't have to be transferred. Oh, for this question, you go to 3 doors on the right and you ask for this. You can actually centralize the entire knowledge of the institution to go through one single point of entry, which is the digital assistant. And my favorite, sorry, and my favorite is that users can have the conversation based on their own tempo and agenda, right? We live nowadays in this busy lifestyle, running through meetings all day long. So it means that you can start the conversation with digital assistant, get up to a certain point, let's say, something might interrupt you. You can come 3 days later and continue from the same point you actually left the conversation and continue to be served in a normal way. Now, what this means for the institution? Well, basically, we help institutions automate up to 80% of all digital interactions with the end users. And this is a huge percent of the traffic being, let's say, streamlined and being automated without a need of a human agent, of a human representative stepping in. With all of this, we're actually helping them automate entire departments, especially around the customer support, operations in the customer support sector. With this, we're helping reduce the overall cost of the institution. But at the same time, which is really important, is that we're helping the institution provide a personalized user experience for the user, be treated based on his knowledge level, on his preferences, based on the past interactions that he had with the digital assistant. The experience will be customized for his next approach, and he can be served in a way that it really feels like you have someone assisting you instead of approaching an unknown person and having a discussion with an unknown person. And overall, we help with the digital assistants improve processes, services, and employee productivity at the same time, because we are automating as I said, up to 80% of all the repetitive interactions happening with the end users, which might be citizens of a public institution. It doesn't have to be a business or a company, which leads to an increased productivity of their current employees, because suddenly they have more free productive time they can use for their own and focus on a more complicated issue at hand that they need to solve. And finally, this will help in reducing the crowds in the institution. Having this kind of interface really would put an institution door within every user's device, so they don't have to go out there to get served. They can be served in the next conversation within their favorite chat application. Now, getting back to my initial point on how this introduces the next step of digitalization of institutions and organizations out there. Well, if you take a look at how the entire digitalization went over the years, everything starting with the personal computers, and suddenly people can do things much faster, organizations can process requests much faster, do operations much faster. Then introducing the IVR systems, right? And providing the service over the phone systems that we're still using today. And whenever you call an institution, you dial 1 for English or 2 for another language. And then going to web applications and unlocking the power of web and collaboration over distances, and having allowing us to have meetings like this over distance in real time. And then they taking the entire power in mobile apps and having it with us all the time, basically. And if you ask yourselves, why do people still call customer support departments, and why do people still go to institutions and ask for for something to be completed? In cases when the institution has a web application, has a mobile app, and they can do those actions by themselves, the answers would surprise you, as we did a study on this, and in most of the cases is not because the person doesn't know how to complete a certain action, is because he wants to be served. And it's easier for him to pick up the phone and dial the support line and ask to be served, rather to navigate the mobile app, download stuff, and trying to complete the action by himself. So with conversational AI, we truly believe that we are introducing the next step of digitalization of institutions, allowing them to create an AI-powered workforce that actually works on behalf of humans, serves people on behalf of humans, and automates processes and provides much faster and more personalized service. So that would be it for my topic today. Happy to open more questions later on this topic, and share the experience over how we can help institutions actually automate processes through digital assistance. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Nino, a lot. It was really interesting to see how artificial intelligence can actually help the institutions. We do believe that you have experience with working directly with them. We can touch that point later on. But in this event, we have tried to cover different society aspects through which social innovations and digital transformations can support their development and other social issues. So the next aspect that we would like to open is how the social innovations can transform the culture, and how culture digital transformation actually can boost social innovations. With that, we would like to invite Dr. Promodromos Monastridis, the head of marketing and fundraising department, Thessaloniki Convention and Culture Center, to present their work, how he perceived the cultural digital transformation, and how this way of transformation can boost social innovations. Professor, please, the floor is yours. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for calling me. It is a real pleasure to be among your distinguished panel and friends. And I really hope pandemic conditions will allow us to be in person next time you got such a wonderful topic and such a meeting. We missed the opportunity of traveling with such a good occasion. So yeah, Hopefully we'll do it in person next time. Now, it was very interesting listening and watching the presentations before that, because we saw how digital transformation and social innovativeness work in smaller cases or in smaller paradigms and smaller projects. We're going to discuss in the next couple of minutes how this combination of theoretical fields works in a bigger organizations, such as the concert hall, which is a big organization, but not as big as you consider to be in the capital city of Athens. First of all, the easy answer on this topic will be yes, digital technology will help social innovations no matter what, or no matter how you think it. It's not that easy approach. First of all, creative economy is not about selling products. It's especially not, it requires a social environment that will allow people to participate, interrogate, and interact with the service, with the product, with the performance, whatever. So social innovativeness is a tool that can help flourish or make more attractive the performance, the project, the idea, the product, whatever, into the people, so it can diffuse into the market more easily. And social innovativeness is a step forward compared to corporate responsibility. So we move more deeply into digital technology and more deeply into corporate responsibility issues. On the other hand, art has all the elements such as diversity, people participating to exchange the ideas and to boost social innovative things. And social innovativeness can help urban, and it is connected with urban development. So we have all the elements that can be in combination of mixing and making a perfect match. But also keep in mind that in culture and in art, in some cases, there is a danger or the risk of being too elitistic, of forwarding or formulating social innovative concepts for few people. So again, you have another parameter to keep in mind how you're gonna enlarge and make these things. Digital technologies can help not to overlook the added value in the cultural thing, to promote it, to make it more clear, or to enhance and to increase creativity. But because we start saying the good things, there's a basic questions in this topic we are discussing today. Does digital technology make the creative industry more creative, or at least better or stronger, or it, let's say in a way, puts in stereotypes creativity? We're going to do it everything in Twitter, we're going to do everything through a podcast, we're going to do everything through a social platform, and we're going to miss the original creativity of arts in contrast to technology. Technology also will help social innovators to catch the changing consumer patterns. Two easy things, two easy examples, Spotify and podcasts. Spotify changed completely the look we anticipate to hear music. We used to hear music through radio, then radio through our phones, not that smart at that time, with with the earphones and stuff like that. Now think all the transformation Spotify forced the music industry to transform. And one can say this is okay, this is something good. Yes, it is. Technology makes music more accessible, more easy to reach everybody. On the other hand, it's more than easy to do a podcast. We can have 15 minutes after we finish our discussion and upload this panel into a podcast. Again, technology can help creative industry. But is this the real question? The changing consumption patterns require a change in content, require more strongly and more added value content, especially demands changes in the size and in the quality of the content. Can you hear really classical music into an MP3 form? Yes and no, because you cannot hear the full quality of the sound in an MP3 sound format. It's more easy, it is compressed, it can be transferred through an email, but it's not real classical music or an opera or whatever, or even a jazz or a pop. It's not real music in an MP3 form, it's an electronic form. So you get this kind of dilemmas. You can upload your music, your art everywhere, but making discounts in the form of the value and in the content you propose to the people. And one other important thing is technology helps, but do you get paid by technology? Be honest, when was the last time when you paid to download the film? Or to download, Zorika is laughing, okay. When was the last time when we paid for journalism, for a site to get news, paid and not free? When was the last time when you paid something in the art sector? Not a long, probably a long time ago. So technology helps you to boost creativity, but on the other hand, won't give you any funding back. So I can upload my music, my work, my painting, my opera, my whatever, but I won't get paid for that. So this is, I mean, this kind of dilemma is quite interesting. Technology helps you go everywhere, but on the other hand, helps you get not richer, get you more poor on the way. So actually, technology and creativity is a love and hate relationships. You have to determine very carefully who is in charge and how you use it and how you're going to make the best use of it. Of course, technology is run by large corporate technological corporations. That means, again, you have to get by their rules. So creativity is again put it in a framework determined by large companies such as Google, Amazon, Spotify, or whatever. So you can go everywhere, but in what kind of rules? Someone could say that technology in some kinds of arts can be in dangers of social innovativeness if it's not used by the proper way. Will it help us to put the proper content, or the content we use through technology is the real content we want to do it as artists? Or we are forced to do it, I mean, for example, to transform our music to be better heard in an MP3 form. But on the other hand, if it was in our hand, we will use another format, we will have better quality in sound. Again, I'm stating the copyrights and the free download. So social innovativeness is not getting any fund back. And this is actually, we do that, a lot of things in the concert hall, we use the easy forms of technology to do live streamings, especially during the COVID period, and to produce performances from our archive and to get them through the internet. But again, we get a fund from the state, and we are more able and eligible to get funds and sponsorship and fundraising. Not all of the artists are able to do this kind of funding for themselves. Technology, again, I'm just getting close not to get more of your time. It's remarkable. It's really worth to notice how interesting at the highest of their turnovers in the United States had revenues in the music industry in the United States nearly $15 billion. But after the digital transformation from Spotify and the MP3 format, the free download, it's less smaller, the amount of turnover in the music industry. What I'm saying, two necessary tools. It's very important how you use them and who has the upper hand, and how you're going to be able to use it as a tool and not as a final destination. Technology is there to help, but in a way you use it to help you. And social innovativeness can be really helped by this kind of relationship. Thank you for the time.
Yes, thank you. It was really inspirational. I mean, we should never forget that at the end of the day, we can and we should all work for the sustainability of all the products that we are developing. We should commercialize them. And even though, yes, we are providing good to the society, but still at the end of the day, we should find a way how to sustain that and detect even funds for updating of the tools, because we know all that the technology is moving really fast, and 2 years from now, yes, we will have new trends.
You know, it's quite funny because as artists, we need to educate people or to give them opportunities to open their mind. But on the other hand, the whole system needs to educate them to learn how to pay.
Yes, yes.
Art is not for free. So this is the important thing. Because now, because of the technology, you expect everything for free. On the other hand, you demand quality for free. Okay, this is not, I mean, something is not working properly in this kind of thoughts.
Yes, yes, you're right. Thank you. Today with us is also Zorica Velkovska. Zorica is a co-founder of the Center for Social Innovations, Blink 4221. Zorica was also one of the leaders and the innovators for the digital tools that have been developed through Blink 4221. And I believe that she will explain you in more details what we have been working on in the past few years, and also our visions and our aspirations for the future. Thank you, Zorica, for being here today and for sharing all of the work that Blink 4221 is doing. The floor is yours, please.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you everyone for being today on this digital platform that we are using to connect and share experiences and some of our work. It's very hard to speak after Nino and Tadej because they presented so many great tools and things that they created and helped and made social impact in their countries and worldwide. And especially after Dr. Pomodoris, because he mentioned some of the challenges that we are facing with our work. And I think that to close this, I will just shortly say about Blink. Blink is an NGO. As Tadej mentioned, we want to be a different kind of NGO, more modern and more open to some of the happenings nowadays. So we define social innovations as new solutions that meet the social needs and lead to new improved relations and better use of assets and resources. We design and scale innovative solutions for social challenges, mostly in our country, but also in the region. So we believe that one of our vision to 2030 that we will lead our efforts to build coalitions on common values and bring change in key areas, but also to experiment and pioneer innovative solutions that could bring human progress and prosperity and happiness. We believe that we will improve the life in the society and that we will be a recognized leader. We have as organization 3 missions that we set it till 2030. One is that we want to empower citizens, public institutions, and organizations. Nino already mentioned that people want to be served and personally call and conduct whatever need to do from the institutions, but what the other, let's say, research says that people don't trust. So they know how to use, most of them, the digital tools that we are produced for accessing public services and equally participation in the local governments, in the state government, but also they don't trust in the public institutions. And one thing that we should, and what we believe that we need to provide and innovate tools that will bring the trust, provide transparency and the accountability of the institutions, so the citizen can see that their voice is heard, be sure that that the actions that AI or other tools are actually worth it and trustful, and the job will be done. The other field that in our mission is the education. We want to create modern learning environment that inspires creativity, knowledge, and leads to excellence among the students. And the last one that Makis already mentioned is the culture experience to everyone using the power of technology and innovation. I will just briefly, yes, we believe that we can be an innovation trailblazer, that we would like to be an innovation partner because most of our projects are connected with someone else, someone that recognizes our innovation and our visions for improvement. And we want to be an innovation shaper because we believe the institutions can recognize that the creative industries, the civil society actors are actually the one that move the change and the progress and the vision for the next year. Our organization is winner of the European Youth Award in 2019 for the category Active Citizenship. We were the finalists in the virtual reality skill up of ILO, the International Labour Organization. So we received funding for our virtual reality lab, and we are ecosystem partner for the Central European Startup Awards. I will shortly go to 4 different projects that we are working. The one that is our baby, and we are always fighting to be present and to improve it, is M-Community app. It's the winner application. In 2000, it was pilot in 1 municipality in Macedonia. It was in Karkoš, and this year we received funding to make it as a digital platform that now has a mobile app and a web app and multi-level administrative panel where we help municipalities to collect and analyze data as tool to improve local services, transparency, accountability, etc., etc. So through this solution, the citizens in each municipality, they can take action, report a problem, or provide a proposal to the municipality, communicate directly to the relevant sector without sending it the request to somewhere and no one sees. So you choose the right sector for your problem. There is a news with push notification in the categories that you are interested for your community. And the last upgrade made was about the subsidies that the municipalities are giving. So you can now digitally apply for help for firstborn child, or for social categories of people, or for let's say for bikes that the municipalities are doing. One of the why we created M-Communities, actually the one that Nino also mentioned, is that the people were going directly physically in the local authority, in the municipalities, everyone requesting for the same, sometimes for the same problem. They don't know among themselves that they are there for the same problem. The municipality should reply to everyone separately, and still they don't know that there were 200 people that were asking the same issue to the municipality. So the main goal was to bring trust that the people can do that online, and that or mobile, whatever, wherever, in any time, using the mobile phone, and that they will receive a response from the municipality. After 3 years, we were very happy because on the, let's say, test, when we have this subsidy with the municipality of Karkoš about the bikes, giving subsidies for bikes, almost 80% of the citizens that receive subsidies applied to M-Zajednica, to M-Community. So this was a way that proves that people, if they see that they're responding and that the municipality is transparent, they are bringing the trust and are using our digital tools. The other thing that I want to present you is a game that we produce. It's an educational tool for training of teachers and youth to strengthen community resilience against radicalization and violent extremism. Lunesol was developed for high school students. It's available as a mobile and web game. So you can download and play for free. There are a lot of other additional tools among the game, like videos, tutorials, educational webinars. There are pre and post playing questionnaires regarding the issue, because the issue was, let's say, hard or something that we don't talk openly in the society. One of the purpose of why we developed this game is to open the topic and give a safe space for the students and the teachers to talk about the issues in their community. It's very creatively designed. It's Lunasol, the planet of moon and sun people with their diversity in the society and friendship and neighbors where they are trying to save among themselves and be a better society. So it's pretty educational, informational, but also fun to play. Now, let's say we are to the topic that Makis addressed. What we start to work in the last 3 years is actually how to boost the culture experience in the cultural institutions. Firstly, our project was to create a new experience in the theater of the archaeological site Stobi about the gladiator performance that were done in the past. So we created this virtual reality application where you can actually go at Stobi and you have like 8 minutes animation of the gladiator performance, providing all data regarding the life in Stobi in the 2nd century and on a very creative way. And the app brings you in the past, and it's really interesting. For us, it was a test. Because as all the things that Makis mentioned is the fact that the creative industry really can help the culture digital transformation, can help the cultural institutions to provide new experiences, develop new audience, attract new audience, etc., etc. What are the challenges? The challenges are the monetization, as you mentioned. It's very hard to monetize when people are not coming on your site or in your museum or in your concert hall. So you need to find way how to monetize what you produce and the content that you already share to the wider audience. The challenge is how to develop tools for things that are not only fun, because the culture is full with historic data, in our case, archaeological data that must be precise. The teams that need to develop things like virtual reality apps, AR, etc., are very big, for people from the technological and creative part to people that are working only with science, archaeology, and history. So they need to work together, and it is a challenge process that it's pretty long, because they take care that the product has to be representing the history values and the precise archaeological terms. So, for example, for the theater in Stobi, we had a team with architects that were working on the 3D reconstruction of the theater, to script writers and archaeologists who worked on the script to be real, etc., etc. So this was our motivation to start a bigger project, which is regional. So now we are working on Immersium. Immersium, it's a non-formal network. For now, we are 7 partners in 5 countries that we want to design an app and a platform where any cultural institution, through the app and through the process and the model that we are going to develop, can create an immersive experience on their site, and how to disseminate that among the different audience, and how to monetize. So this is what we are going to work in the next 2 years, and we hope that that we will provide a solution that will be very helpful and will easily be formalized in a network that really helps, the immersive network that really helps cultural institutions to overcome the challenges and bring completely new audience on their sites. And the last I want to present something is this is the project that we received funding from the International Labour Organization through the innovation call. It's called Virtual Reality Skill Lab. It's actually we are going to create a VR app for electrotechnical schools in the country as a training and skill development tool. That means that the students in a safe environment can practice a working process which is mainly present in most of the companies and in the market. So it will provide a tool that in virtual reality you can go from the safety to detecting the problems to resolving the problem to putting everything back in power. It will be the app will be for maintaining of electro distributing network. So this will be available next year in February. First, will be available for 5 high schools here in the country where the students can test it. The future of this tool and this virtual reality skill app is that there are a lot of industries where and even companies where these kind of tools can provide a safe and quality and innovative way of training of the employees and everyone that needs to get in work sooner or later. So that's everything what I have to present. Shortly, I think that on this panel we shared so many interesting things. I am completely aware that the technology and in general the digital transformation, not just in the culture, in any field, maybe even in education, is harder. It's very harder because in these industries where the traditional methods are still, let's say, the main value, and there is a bigger number of people that need to accept and feel comfortable with using these solutions. It's harder. But the societies like ours, like countries that were a long time in a development, in a transition, are really opportunity for the creative industries to step forward, and the startups and the civil society organizations like ours to provide solutions that really can improve some of these challenges. It's hard because the institutions doesn't matter either cultural, public, or educational. They need to accept and recognize what we are offering. But the good partnerships, and I believe that there are open-minded and visionaries everywhere, can really, in a joint cooperation, make a change. So not just because we have this NGO, but personally, I believe that we are the change makers, and we can help institutions like the one that is the Concert Call, or any company that needs digital communication with their audience and their customers, or any public institution that we can really help and improve what they're doing and make a change. So thank you once again. It's good that we share the concerns of the digital transformation, because they are present, and there are people that are taking care of them. And I hope that in a joint cooperations and meetings like these, partnerships will be made so we can jointly overcome. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Zorica. Since we are coming to the end of this event, I would like just to point out just a few things that we have touched only and addressed through this event. So we for sure need to work towards development and supporting each other in an ecosystem. That ecosystem will allow us to pass through the challenges that are with which we are faced. We are aware that we need all digital skills that the persons from and the stakeholders from whom we are making the digital tools and the social innovations need skills, focus, and also interest to use the tools that we are developing. But if we have an ecosystem, that ecosystem can support everything that we need in order to progress further. And that ecosystem is actually the network that will support each of us and will guide us into more commercialized work of all of our innovations. At the end, I would like to thank all of the speakers today, all of the guests, and also the Global Shapers, the Global Entrepreneurship Week North Macedonia. And I would like to invite you to discuss further about this topic in some other events. We as Blink 4221 are interesting to discuss some more about this topic, and we for sure will invite you in different capacities to open more on this topic. Thank you once again. I would like to wish you all a pleasant day and hope that we will meet each other in person and enlarge this conversation with some other topics and some other digital tools.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.